gosh, and these jerseys are swaggy.
Indiana Fever without Caitlin Clark go up against the Las Vegas Aces 80-70. 15 points for Sophie Cunningham, 3 for 4 from the three-point line. Sophie Cunningham has been hot to trot.
Caitlin Clark wasn't in uniform, but she was definitely in the game. The Indiana Fever were up against Asia Wilson's Las Vegas Aces. Two-time champs, Olympic gold all over the roster, and enough confidence to fill up Gainbridge Fieldhouse twice. But Caitlin? She was on the bench in street clothes nursing a groin injury. Did that stop her from going full psycho competitor mode? Absolutely not. She was up, yelling, pointing, and clapping like she was coaching Game 7 of the NBA Finals. But here's where it gets hilarious. The Aces thought they were walking into a cakewalk. No Caitlin Clark? Easy dub, right? Wrong. Instead, they got absolutely cooked by Sophie Cunningham. Yes, that's Sophie, the one they thought was just a role player. She lit up the Aces like they were a junior varsity squad.
Sophie Cunningham, she can't miss from 3, y'all. She was 3 of 4 today. She's been on fire. 4 or 5 from the game, from the floor. 3 or 4 from 3. Sophie Cunningham playing mad crazy defense. Sophie Cunningham's been flat out balling.
Here's where the disrespect turned into motivation. The Fever weren't just missing their superstar, they were also dragging a 500 record and the weight of 2 straight ugly losses. Social media had already written their obituary. The Clarkless Fever were supposed to get exposed, but this team clearly didn't get the memo. Coach Stephanie White rolled out a game plan that didn't just keep them competitive, it humiliated the defending champs.
Can't have 5-minute lapses against great teams. They make you pay, and they bury you in those moments. I think we've seen, throughout the course of the season, where we've been really good for long stretches, and where we've weathered the ups and downs of a game, and we've got to be able to do that from a neutral mindset. We can't get into the playing conservative.
The Fever played like a team with nothing to lose and everything to prove. And let's talk about Sophie Cunningham for a second. She wasn't just hot. She was molten lava with a jump shot. She was talking trash, draining threes, and hitting shots so confidently it looked like she invented the three-point line. The Fever weren't surviving without Clark. They were thriving. And Clark? She was losing her mind on the bench, hyping up every single bucket like it was a game winner. That groin may have been tight, but her energy was loose. What came next was an absolute turning point. Because while the Aces rolled into Indianapolis acting like they were the Miami Heat's Big Three, the Fever said, "Cool story," and turned Gainbridge into their house.
I got to be real here. There were times tonight when Sophie Cunningham was wide open and nobody got her the ball. I mean, my God, she's been hot as fire out there. She's knocking them down all over the place and doing it efficiently.
And it wasn't just about energy. They outplayed Vegas in every single category. By the end of the first half, the Aces were looking around like someone had unplugged their superpowers. They were stunned, frustrated, and getting outworked by players the media barely talks about. And the best part? Clark never took off her warm-ups. She didn't need to. If you looked at the box score after the game, you'd think Kelsey Mitchell was clutch all night. But in reality, she was Brick City for 3 straight quarters. Seriously, early on, she looked like she was auditioning for the Shaqtin' a Fool highlight reel.
You too, Kelsey Mitchell. Your whole family been bashing Caitlin Clark on social media, and we just found out they feel like the team should be ran through you, built around you. It should be the Kelsey Mitchell show. So there's no Caitlin Clark, so let's see it.
She couldn't buy a bucket. Layups, missed, jumpers, air. The Gainbridge Fieldhouse crowd was holding their breath every time she shot, and not in a good way. Even Caitlin Clark, who was hyping everyone up, gave a few "please go in" looks after Mitchell launched another brick. But then the flip switched, and it got scary fast. Coach Stephanie White didn't panic. She didn't yank Mitchell out or ice her on the bench. Instead, she leaned in. During a timeout, she walked over to Kelsey and hit her with the verbal version of a green light. "Let it fly. It's going to go." Boom. That was it. That simple sentence was like flipping a cheat code. Kelsey came out of that huddle like she had Dame Lillard's clutch gene injected into her veins. She started attacking the rim like a running back, finishing through contact, dropping threes from Steph Curry range, and suddenly, the Aces were scrambling. It wasn't just the scoring either. She was making plays. Her teammates got open looks. She even pulled out a gorgeous no-look assist to Aaliyah Boston that made the whole arena gasp. It was like the Aces couldn't figure out how to guard her, because she was guarding herself before. But once Mitchell broke through her own slump, Vegas had no answer. And the best part? She saved the real fire for the fourth quarter. With the game hanging in the balance, Mitchell went 4 for 5 from the field in the final 12 minutes, racking up 9 crucial points. That's the kind of production that breaks playoff dreams, and the Aces knew it.
8 points in a quarter without Caitlin Clark. We managed to get it done yesterday. Fourth quarter rolls around. Kelsey Mitchell goes 4 for 5 in the fourth quarter. She takes us home.
Well, listen, I got to keep it real. Kelsey Mitchell, you hit some timely baskets. You did hit some timely baskets, but boy, your ass got bailed out today, Kelsey Mitchell. You started out 2 for 14. We are lucky.
Her final stat line? 21 points, tied for the team lead in assists, and 0 fear. The same people who were dragging her 2 quarters earlier were now chanting her name. That's the thing about the WNBA. If you're not watching closely, you'll miss greatness in real time. And Kelsey Mitchell? She reminded the league that Clark might be the star, but she's the closer. Let's just say the Aces weren't the only ones stunned. Mitchell's run completely flipped the tone of the game. While the Aces tried to mount a comeback, she hit them with dagger after dagger, and she wasn't smiling either. It was a business trip now. Even the Vegas bench was getting real quiet. It's almost like they finally realized this wasn't the same Fever team they'd seen earlier in the season. This version was hungry.
Heading into the break, coming out of the break, Sophie Cunningham has proven to us she's shooting. I am fairly confident that that ball is going to go in. Yeah, she's deserving of that starting spot.
Sophie Cunningham didn't just step up. She kicked the door down, slammed the lights on, and said, "I'm running this now." Coming into the game, Sophie had been heating up for weeks. But against Asia Wilson and the defending champs, she walked in like she owned the gym. And honestly, she kinda did. She was hitting threes like she had her own custom make it rain. Setting turned on. Off screens, off the dribble, hands in her face, it didn't matter. Vegas threw everything at her and she treated it like target practice. The numbers weren't just hot, they were historic. Cunningham came into the game shooting over 58% from 3 over her last 6 games. That's not just good, that's you gotta be kidding me good. And these weren't garbage time threes. She was hitting clutch bombs with the shot clock melting and defenders in her grill. Coach Stephanie White had already seen enough. She moved Sophie into the starting lineup because, quote, she stretches the floor, rebounds, handles the ball, and brings energy we can't fake. Translation: this woman is the WNBA's version of Jamal Murray when he's in playoff mode. Against Vegas, Sophie dropped 15 points and shot 75% from beyond the arc. But even that stat doesn't tell the full story. Every time the Aces tried to make a run, Cunningham shut it down with a dagger. Boom, momentum dead. Sit down. And the best part? She didn't even blink. No chest pounding, no look at me celebration, just a cold jog back on defense like, yep, that's what I do. At one point, she even had Chelsea Gray switched onto her. And instead of swinging the ball, Sophie rose up and drilled a 3 right in her face.
Sophie Cunningham is balling in her last few games. She is averaging 13.7 points a game, 4.7 rebounds, 3 3-pointers made, and of that, she is shooting 58% from the 3. She is coming to Indiana to do what they signed her to do.
That's not confidence. That's disrespect with a follow-through. NBA fans would call her a 3-and-D role player. But right now, she's looking more like Klay Thompson before the injuries. Deadly range, quick release, stone-cold attitude. And unlike most shooters, she actually plays defense too. What she's doing should terrify the rest of the league. Because when Clark returns, teams won't just be game planning for Caitlin anymore. Now they've got to survive Sophie dropping heat from the corner while Clark draws double teams. This isn't just a hot streak, it's a reputation reset. She's not just some spark plug off the bench, she's a legit weapon. And if the 6th Player of the Year award doesn't go to Sophie Cunningham, they might as well rename the trophy the Hater's Choice.
And I also mentioned that she could definitely be considered for 6th Man of the Year. And according to this post by Polymarket Hoops, the current favorite to win 6th Player of the Year is Sophie Cunningham by over 150, and those are just the gambling odds.
With the aces clinging to hope and the crowd on edge, Ari McDonald stepped up and said, "I got this." It was late in the fourth quarter. The Fever were holding on to a 5-point lead, and Vegas was coming. You could feel the tension in Gainbridge Fieldhouse like a balloon about to pop. Asia Wilson and the aces were pressing hard, desperately trying to snatch momentum, but McDonald wasn't about to let that happen. She caught the ball at the top of the arc, stepped back like she was playing in the NBA Skills Challenge, and let it fly. That three hit nothing but net, and also hit the soul of every Vegas fan watching. It was the dagger. It wasn't just a clutch shot, it was a playoff statement. That was Ari's only shot attempt in the entire fourth quarter, and she nailed it like it was scripted. The building exploded. Clark jumped off the bench like she just hit it herself. You could see her screaming, arms in the air, losing her mind. That groin injury, it couldn't stop the adrenaline from flowing. McDonald ended the night a perfect 3 for 3 from deep, dropped 9 points, added 4 assists, and even snagged 2 steals in just 22 minutes. It was like watching Tyrese Maxey play pickpocket and hit stepbacks at the same time. But the foundation was already set, and that came from Natasha Howard. Quietly, Howard was a monster. She dominated the boards with 13 rebounds, chipped in 18 points, and stripped the aces for 3 steals like she was on a mission. Her impact wasn't flashy, but it was essential. After the game, she said it plainly. "When our defense is going, our offense is going." And she wasn't lying. Vegas got 1 shot per possession. That's it. No second chances, no bailouts. It's the kind of gritty performance that makes coaches cry tears of joy. And when you stack that on top of McDonald's bomb, Mitchell's takeover, and Cunningham's torch job, yeah, the Fever weren't just lucky. They were better, period. Oh, and let's not forget the cherry on top. This win didn't just move the Fever to 13-12. It gave them the 2-1 season series advantage over the Aces. You know what that means? Tiebreaker secured. If these teams end the regular season neck and neck, Indiana gets the higher seed.
2 teams that came into the game essentially with the same record. So if you are thinking playoff, but this game later is going to be a big deal, right? You start looking at tiebreakers, and the Fever need to squeak in, and they're like, oh, we need wins, and where's the tiebreakers? Oh, we got wins over the Aces that may have virtually the same record by the time we get to that point. This game, big win.
That could literally knock Vegas out of a higher playoff spot. So while the Aces walked in thinking this was their victory lap, the Fever handed them a reality check and a bruised ego. And Caitlin Clark? She'll be back soon, returning to a team that's found its fight without her. Which means when she's back on the floor, good luck, WNBA. If you're enjoying this content and would like to see more and support my channel, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you.